Because here's the other thing too. Let me really cook here, right? If you ask the common neocon, right, slash pro-war supporter, pro-Israel has a right to defend itself, etc., right? And you talk to them about Iran, they're going to tell you the same thing. It's going to be a mix of pretty much this, in sum and substance. They're a violent theocracy that doesn't believe in human rights, treats women poorly, beats them in the streets, has no democracy. They're radicals. They want to destroy the world. They want to get rid of Israel. They want to eliminate the West, and they want to go ahead and, have someone come. The mullahs are wild, crazy theocrats, right? That's what they say, right? That is a general argument that you're going to get from the pro-Israel / pro-war crowd, right? They're a proxy. They're the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East. They start problems. They constantly threaten Israel, and by definition, also threaten the United States. They want to assassinate Donald Trump. Crazy theocrats, etc. I think I've covered it all there, right, chat? Pretty much all the main talking points. They chant death to America. They chant death to Israel. They call Israel little Satan. They call America big Satan. I think I've covered all of it. Those are all the talking points that they used, right? Or they use. Now, if they're as crazy as people say, and we should believe them, well, let me ask you this. Then why didn't we believe them when they said they don't have nuclear weapons? Right? Why don't we believe them when they said that? I'll take it a step further. If they're as crazy as we claim, when we killed Qasem Soleimani in 2020, why didn't they aggressively retaliate? We killed Ismail Haniyeh in 2024. Right? Or Israel did. In Tehran, Iran, by the way, when he was there on an official visit for the inauguration of the new president. We assassinated him in their capital. Okay? Israel did. Why wasn't there a wild retaliation from that? When they killed Fuad Shukr, why wasn't there a crazy retaliation from that? The day before or after Ismail Haniyeh. When they killed Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, why wasn't there a wild retaliation after that? After they went ahead and assisted Ahmed al-Shara and the rebels with taking over Syria and getting Bashar al-Assad out. Why was there a hard retaliation after that? Right? When they bombed the Iranian embassy in Damascus, why was there hard retaliation after that? When the United States, literally just this past Saturday, destroyed their nuclear facilities, an act of war. Also, when Israel launched a preemptive attack during the middle of negotiations, Operation Rising Lions, where they had Mossad operatives behind enemy lines, destroying the air defense, assassinating generals, assassinating scientists, in the middle of diplomacy. And then on top of that, United States dropping bombs all across their nuclear facilities. Well, I've named 7, 8, 9 different provocations? How is it that after all these declarations of war, Iran is almost always given measured responses and exercise great restraint? If they had the nuclear bombs like they claim, why didn't they just nuke Israel? If they have this crazy, wild, theocratic ideology where they don't give a shit and they just want to kill, why didn't they blow Tel Aviv into fucking smithereens? Why did they agree to the ceasefire? Why did they tell the United States hours before the attack on the military base that they were going to send the 14 rockets into Qatar? And no one died. No fucking missiles hit, one hit on the side and did 0 damage. Why did Trump thank them on Truth Social after for notifying them and that no lives were lost in their retaliation? Yeah, I think you guys are starting to get the picture here. The reality is that though Iran has been provoked, oh, I forgot to mention the fact that Israel's doing a fucking genocide, by the way, in Gaza, killing hundreds of kids every day, that in itself would warrant a crazy regime to attack Israel directly, but they haven't. So explain to me how this crazy theocracy who wants death to America, death to Israel, can't be trusted with nukes, can't be trusted with weapons of mass destruction, has exercised extreme restraint during multiple provocations conducted by both the United States and Israel. Explain that to me. See, you can't have it both ways. Are they a violent theocracy that is going to destroy the West, that has no control? Or, which evidence lines up with, Are they an Islamic Republic that opposes Israel's illegal occupation of Palestinians and is fighting to maintain its sovereignty in an ever-changing landscape in the Middle East where Israel wants hegemony and control? Which one is it? But you can't have it both ways. I would argue Iran actually uses far more restraint than the Israelis do. The Israelis kill kids. The Israelis bomb hospitals. The Israelis conduct false flags. The Israelis run clandestine operations and invade people's sovereignty all the fucking time. Meanwhile, all of Iran's responses were pretty fucking measured given the amount that they've been attacked. When they killed Soleimani, when they killed Ismail Haniyeh, when they did their attack, when they got the United States to come in and bomb their nuclear facilities, how did Iran respond? They notified and they sent missiles and the missiles were shot down. It was pretty much measured responses every single time. More symbolic than anything. A retaliation to let people know that they can defend themselves. Now, with that said, the only time they actually said, you know what, we're going to actually hit you pretty hard is in response to Israel's Operation Rising Lions, where they started bombing Tel Aviv. For real. And they started hitting them with hypersonics and everything. And they showed the capability to pierce through the Iron Dome, the Arrow, and the David Sling. But why do I tell you guys about this? Why do I give you guys all these provocations so you guys understand the 7 or 8 provocations I've named to you guys, which no one ever fucking comments about these in Middle Eastern policy? It's to describe to you and show you guys that despite great provocation from Israel, even bringing the United States into the conflict, the last thing Iran wants is a war, especially with the United States. So again, I would argue they exercise far more restraint than the Israelis do. Far more. The Israelis have no restraint. And you want to know why they have no restraint? Because nobody can tell them anything. They have a powerful lobby in the United States that pays our politicians. So when they drop bombs on fucking kids, we can't question them. We run cover for them at the fucking UN. Trump unlocked the 2,000-pound bombs and let them go ahead and use them. And they've been killing even more people. The October 7th attacks, though terrible, were a perfect way for Israel to demonstrate their ability to act in a strategic and decisive manner. What did they do? They used it as an excuse to go on a fucking bloodbath all across the Middle East and wage wars against all their enemies, as well as keep Netanyahu out of jail. And when you know all of these facts and you understand the history of the region and you know what strategic objectives are between the different countries, it all clicks into place. Let's go ahead and label the Iranian regime as wild theocrats that are terrorists that want to kill us, despite the fact that we've done a whole bunch of provocative shit and they actually haven't instituted a burn all the ships policy back on us. But when we were provoked and Hamas attacked us, we fucking leveled the city. Tells me who has more restraint. Tell me who should actually be more responsible, or who would be more responsible more than likely with nuclear weapons. Is it Israel? The country that blackmailed Richard fucking Nixon and told him that if you don't give us a fucking airlift, we are going to blow up the Arab world with the nuclear weapons that are unacknowledged, by the way. When Golda Meir fucking called his ass and said, hey, you better give us this fucking airlift or else. Back in 1973, bitched his ass. And then what proceeded after that was the biggest airlift in fucking history and allowed the Israelis to win the Yom Kippur War when they're getting their asses handed to them. So let me ask you guys a question. Given all the facts I've provided for you guys in full context, you guys actually know, and it's not the fucking Zionist-run Western media, who actually has more restraint? The crazy Iranian theocrats or the bloodthirsty fucking Israelis?